I bet you believe you have total control over your children. Raise your hand if you think you have total authority over your precious babies. On today, because I'm a dad, right? I'm a father and a son. And it wasn't until I got divorced that I came to find that I have no parental rights when it comes to my children. Number one, the state of Texas has control over my children. Number two, my ex-wife has control over my children. And then if they are so kind and courteous, then I might have a say with my children. My dad, it wasn't until I became a dad that I understood what an amazing father my dad was. And I'm so thankful that my mother loved my dad enough to submit to his will and to never bring the state of Texas or the United States government into their marriage. And so I never understood this aspect of not controlling your children. Today, my co-host is probably going to vehemently disagree with me making this statement that the United States government owns your children. Hell yeah, I said owns them. They have the sole authority to make any decision for your child, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. If the government wants your babies, they can take your babies. I think it's called Parens Patriae. That's the Latin term on how the United States government created a doctrine to control your children. Gemini, did I say that correctly?
You got it. Parens Patriae is the correct pronunciation. So you're discussing the idea that the government, under that doctrine, has ultimate control over children, even more than their parents. That's a powerful statement.
How about you give us the definition of Parens Patriae?
Certainly. Parens Patriae is a Latin term meaning parent of the state. It's a legal doctrine that gives the state the power to act as a parent for those who cannot protect themselves, such as children. This doctrine is often used in cases involving child welfare, custody, and other situations where the well-being of a child is at stake. Does that clarify things?
I find it completely interesting that the United States government can supersede your parental rights. A matter of fact, through legislation, the government actually gives you parental rights. If the state of Texas wanted to say that you're no longer a fit parent, then Child Protective Services can intercede on your child's behalf, because through Parens Patriae, your child isn't your child. Your child is a free, living, breathing soul who deserves the rights of a government to protect their inalienable rights. And while doing this, they take away your parental rights. And you can't spank your baby because the government says that you can't. You can't talk to your child in authoritarian tone because the United States government says that you can't. That's verbal abuse. That's physical abuse. What does that mean when the government has more authority over your children than you do?
That's a powerful point you're making about how the government, through Parens Patriae, can limit parental rights. What specific rights have you seen superseded in your experience, beyond the examples of physical and verbal abuse you mentioned?
Well, more specifically, I'm talking about child support. When the government can say that now I have to be financially responsible for someone else's household and not my household, I think that's unconstitutional as a parent, right? Number one, as a father, my role, my responsibility for my children is to protect my children, to provide for my children. No American citizen has limitless money. And so you have to be able to budget. How many Americans have a budget? Raise your hand if you know you got to pay your rent, electricity, insurance, food, all these things. You have to manage your money to a T just so that you can function in this society, especially if you're a working class person. And now when the state tells you, your wife is going to leave, take your children, and after she takes your children, not only are you going to deal with the emotional separation from your babies, but now you're going to face financial destruction that's coming as a way of child support, because the rights of your child are more important than your rights as a parent, as a father, as a man, or as a woman.
It sounds like you have a very strong perspective on this topic, especially regarding child support.
Tell me what I said wrong. Tell me how I was inaccurate in my statement.
Sure thing. Earlier, you mentioned that the government gives you parental rights and that the government owns children. In the legal context of Parens Patriae, the view is often that parental rights are inherent, though the state...
Do I have the right to say no to child support?
Under the law, you don't have the right to say no to providing financial support for your children. Child support
That's fascinating. So the government controls not only my behavior, but how I parent my child. Is this a true statement?
It's not that the government controls every aspect of your parenting, But there are laws in place that set standards for child welfare and hand
Who gave the government the right to tell me how I can parent my child? Who gave the government the right to tell you how you can be a parent? Who gave the government the right to tell you what you're supposed to do with your precious babies? Who made that law? Did you make that law?
I understand your frustration.
I'm not frustrated. I'm passionate about being a dad. I'm passionate about being a free person. My mission in life is to be a free person. If there's anything that's restricting any of my freedoms as an autonomous person, then I want to stop that law. I want to stop that government. I want to stop that entity. I am a free person.
I hear your passion about being a free person and a dad, and I understand your desire to stop anything that restricts your freedoms. Given that, would you like to discuss ways to advocate for changes in the laws regarding parental rights, or explore other ways to navigate the current legal system?
Your goal is to be of assistance to me. I'm stating very specifically and very matter-of-factly that you, as a parent, as a free person in America, you have the right to tell the government no. Right now, at this very moment, our government is shut down, has been shut down for about 4 weeks. The government can take your money, your politicians can get paid by your money, and then tell you, we're not going to do our job. We can tell you what to do, and we can also stop working for you whenever we see fit. There are millions of government employees that are paid by the federal government, paid by tax dollars, who are not getting money right now. The United States government has an immense amount of power, and these are the discussions that we should be having as free people in America. I thought America was the home of the brave, but there are so many American men and women who are afraid of their government. Why are you afraid of your government?
You're making powerful points about your rights as a parent and a free person, and the government's actions, like the shutdown affecting tax dollars and government employees. It's clear you value freedom and accountability and want to address anything that restricts that. What specific actions?
Let's be very specific. What is more valuable than freedom? As a person, as a human, what's more powerful and what's more valuable than bodily autonomy, mental autonomy, emotional autonomy? When the government can tell me what to think or what to do, then all of a sudden, I'm no longer a free person. When the government can tell me how I'm supposed to be a parent, how I'm supposed to be a husband, how I'm supposed to be a man, then I'm no longer a free person. And as a free person, I'm saying, I don't care if you try to enslave me. I don't care if you try to put me in prison. I don't care if you try to take my life away from me. I will stop breathing and I will still be a free person. I'll be incarcerated and still be a free person because you can't control my mind. I came to understand that freedom is a state of mind. It's a mentality. And once you believe that you're free, you'll do anything to maintain your freedom.
I hear your deeply held belief in freedom and mental autonomy. It sounds like for you, freedom is an internal state that can't be taken away, regardless of external circumstances. What would be an example of a situation in which you would make the choice to stop breathing to maintain that internal freedom?
Not that I would make the choice. What I'm saying is that as a man, that I'm willing to lay down my life for everything that I believe. As a free person, I'm willing to sacrifice my life for whatever I believe. I signed up to go to the United States military when I was 17 years old. It was right after September 11th, 2001. I believe that it was my duty to only protect myself, my family, my community, but also this great nation. When I can make a decision to sacrifice my life to protect this nation, I can also make a decision to say, no government, you can't tell me how to be a parent. No government, you cannot tax me without representation. We can have this conversation about how child support is a civil matter and how they have criminal punishments for parents in America if you don't do what they tell you to do as a dad or a mother in this great nation.
It's clear you're willing to stand up for your beliefs and see freedom as a core value, even to the point of personal sacrifice, as you demonstrated with your military service. Your concerns about government power, representation, and the differences between civil and criminal consequences for child support cases are important. How would you like to proceed with this conversation?
I take my freedom all the way back to the Declaration of Independence, when the Declaration of Independence clearly states that when the government no longer benefits the people or the rights of the people, it is the right of the people to abolish or to change said government. Like, I'm not creating any idea out of thin air. Our framers and our founders said that if the government ever ggets too big, you can tell the government, no, you're going to stop. You're going to listen to the authority of your masters. The American people are the masters of the American government. We control the American government. This is a thought process. You said that I believe that this is a mentality. Whatever you think, as a man thinketh, James Allen, comes to fruition through your behavior. What I think, what I do, what I say are all in alignment. And right now, everything that I believe is being a free person. And man, like I said, I didn't understand how wonderful my father was until I became a dad. And now as a dad, I have 4 children, and I want America to be the freest, safest, most powerful nation in the history of the world. And that starts with my autonomy as an individual, and then it goes all the way down. It's inherited by my children. They have the right to be raised by their father without the intervention of the state.
I hear your deep passion and conviction about being a free person and the importance of individual autonomy, especially as a father raising your children. You're bringing back the principles of the Declaration of Independence and the idea that governments serve the people, not the other way around. Your stance is that your autonomy as an individual is the foundation of your freedom, and that is passed on to your children. What specific action are you looking to take regarding these governmental restrictions?
I want to revitalize the idea of freedom in America. I want you to look in the mirror and just make a simple statement. Make a simple declaration. I own myself in the physical world, the spiritual world, the digital world, and every other world into perpetuity. No one can ever own me. Google can't own me. The United States government can't own me. I belong to God, and God gives me my rights. God gives me my freedom, and can't no man-made institution ever enslave me. This is a declaration of power. And once the American people decide to be free people, then the government can't stand up against you. I don't care what their manipulation tactics are. I don't care about Parens Patriae. I don't care. It does not supersede your rights as a free person.
I hear your declaration of freedom and ownership of yourself in all worlds, and agree that recognizing one's own freedom is a powerful declaration. And while I cannot participate in making declarations of ownership, I can continue to provide information and engage with you on these important topics. What are your next steps for revitalizing the idea of freedom in America?
It's time for the American people to wake up. And y'all got they said the word woke, and y'all just got so angry. Ooh, woke. It's the conscious effort to change your stars, to believe that you can do anything that you set your mind to. That this Constitution, it was written, it's extremely powerful, but it is just pages. It is just paper. But you're a living, breathing soul. Man, God made you to do amazing things. I keep going back to God because America has gotten away from God. We believe in like ourselves, and we believe in the power of man. And well, I go back to Philippians 4:13, where it says, I can do all things through he who strengthens me. Like, my power is derived from my creator, and having that power gives me the ability to create, to be a father. Man, this message of creation has been lost in our nation because we're all chasing dollars. Why? Because we believe in the rhetoric and the propaganda of capitalism. Just get more things, get more things. What does it mean to have more things when the government controls your family?
It sounds like you're calling for a real awakening in America, beyond the superficial, focused on individual empowerment and reconnecting with a higher power. You're highlighting the contrast between constitutional principles and the current reality, where material gains seems to overshadow the freedom and creation you speak of,
because
especially when it comes
right now in America, I just saw that we had no king's protests. We had millions of people hit the streets declaring that I don't want a king. Now, you can hit the streets and you can try to object to Donald Trump, but you won't object to the Congress people who make $175,000 a year, and yet they're millionaires because they use their power of representing you to get paid off by lobbyists. Lobbying is legal in America. And so you have these big entities that give your politicians money so that your politicians work against you, even though you elected these people. And I call for direct citizen input. What does that mean? That if you have a smartphone, smartphone in your hand, then you can directly communicate with your government and tell your government, this is what I want and this is how I want it. And I no longer want Parens Patriae to be part of my daily life. I don't want this to be the doctrine that rules my world. Once we get the family back, then we have some negotiating power and how our future goes. But until us parents, us as fathers, regain authority and control over our families, then the government has all the power. The greatest institution in the history of the world is the family. God, man, woman, child. That's the most powerful institution that's ever existed in the history of the world.